Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tayler Yarish Show. We are here and we are live, everybody. Late night session in the books. Gonna have to keep it down a tad bit. It's 11:47 p.m. on Sunday. Really just, cramming us in at the last second here. Things got away from me. Couple shows. Could have done it earlier in the day, but what are you gonna do? We want to save it to the last second. It's more juicy that way, more juicy. Yeah, I am. I'm just coming down off like what seems like a 5-day bender or something like that. Around. I mean, I was thinking about the month that I didn't drink in October and just how great I felt. And I'm like, you know what? I should probably do that because, the recovery time that is necessary for my body after drinking. I mean, and I'm not even drinking much. I mean, it's a combination of the drinking and the late night that really just crams something up my ass, that just doesn't feel great in the morning. That's a figurative speech. But yeah, I mean, so we had obviously Thanksgiving, but it started it was like the day before Thanksgiving. I was out fucking doing karaoke until like 3 a.m, drinking with the baseball crew, and I just, why don't you slide, dang, 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 I'm singing My Hero and shit. I mean, just blowing my voice out, drinking beers until 3 a.m. Like, what am I doing? What is to be gained by doing this other than just having a grand old time, which it is. If you haven't done, I mean, I was never a karaoke guy. I wasn't, but it is fun. It is a good time. But yeah, so there was that, and then of course Thanksgiving comes with its own host of drink. Oh no, wait. So I'm fucking up. So karaoke was Tuesday, and then hold on one sec. I can't tell if it's a little staticky. We don't know. We'll figure it out. So Tuesday was karaoke, and then Wednesday I went out to my aunt's in Jersey the night before, and my cousin was going to some bar because all her friends that are home, like from high school, that are home for the holidays, like they all go out to this one bar, and I don't know why I thought it'd be fun to go. It wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to be fun, but I went anyway. It's literally just like a drunken high school reunion. We're all at this one bar that's also a bowling alley, and there's 300, 200, 300 people, easy. I mean, all just crammed into this bar, screaming. No one knows how to drink properly. They're just like fisting beers and just shitty drinks, and like I'm just standing there with my brother, and we're just like, what the fuck are we doing here? What did we think was gonna happen? What did we think was gonna happen when we come to a fucking party? I mean, at least he's, my brother's in college, like he's the age of these kids. I felt like Seth Rogen and Step Brothers, just fucking standing there in the party, just not. Well, no, he was actually cool in that movie. I was just standing there drinking a fucking whiskey on ice. These girls and guys probably thought I was 1,000 years old. I mean, it was just embarrassing. And I just stood there and silently judged people, which is what I do normally at a party anyway. But yeah, it was, I'm just standing there, so I'm just drinking because I need to have something in my hand, and you got to look busy, so you're just drinking, and I'm drinking straight whiskey, and that that wasn't a late night. That's probably like 11:30. We left, which is fine. And then of course Thanksgiving, where I'm now I'm sleep deprived, hungover, eating and drinking. My aunt, they don't even they barely keep hard liquor in the house, so like I had to go buy a thing of whiskey. They had a thing of like Campari and some simple syrup. I'm just making these half-assed cocktails. I started drinking during the day. I'm drinking all day, shoving the food down my face, the fucking cookies, and I mean, it's just It's just bananas. So I'm drinking all day there, wake up early, got to get back on the bus. The aunt gives you leftover. Oh, take these back to the city. Listen, they're not going to see the city, all right? These leftovers are not making it off the bus. And that's what happened. I dove into a fucking Glad container at like 9 in the morning, eating, sweet potato casserole and stromboli. I mean, like, just a piece of shit. I mean, just a big, fat piece of shit is what I felt like. And I had a dessert bag with me. I had one giant, like, it was like some cinnamon cookie cream puff. I mean, just shoot me in the fucking head. It was unbelievable how much of a fatty I was. And that's the game, But it's frustrating because all the, like, progress that I made and the weight that I lost during October, like, I was 149 one morning. That wasn't like the median, but at one point I was 149 pounds, and I felt good and I looked good. And the other day I weighed myself and I'm 157 pounds, which is not a crazy. I mean, it's a little bit of a crazy difference, but it's just like how quickly it all came back because I'm not biking as much because it's cold and whatnot. But it's gotta be the drinking. I mean, it has to be the drinking and the sleep. You need the recovery. But anyway, and then, the other night I went out, I was out in Jersey. I mean, just, till another 3 a.m. drinking like sweet drinks and margaritas and a frozen margarita and the frozen this and, let's take a couple shots of tequila. It's like, I don't know why I'm like a yes man to like keep the night going or like keep the party going. It's not even that I want to keep the party going. I just don't want to be the one to say no. You know what I mean? But if there's like 4 of you or 3 of you or God forbid 2 of you, then you're just, there's more of a chance that it's going to come down to you to be like, what you want to? Someone's looking to you to make the decision. And I never want to be the one who's like deciding to not do whatever or like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be the Debbie Downer of the group. You always want to be the one who's game. And I was doing that for 5 nights in a row. Had a very interesting experience last night. You ever like you feel a situation happening and you're like, this is new and this has never happened to me. So I'm gonna just see where this goes. I have a little bit of time to kill. Let's see where this goes, right? So it was last night. It's a Saturday night. I'm doing I'm the last person on the show on the Saturday 8:00 show at New York Comedy Club, and I do my set and I go out, and I have jokes about being short on the dating scene, let's say. That's all that really is needed for context of this story. And I go out onto the street, and this woman comes up to me, and she's kind of a taller, like just kind of an overall big, like not overweight, just like a tall lady, like a Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones, essentially. Like probably 5'11", which is tall for a woman, person. And there's also a young girl with her. I don't know how old she is. She looks young. And then the other one I can tell is older than me. And she just comes up to me and she says, "Do you want a girlfriend?" And I was like, ugh. And for a second, anytime like the older person comes up and if they're being super forward, it's usually because they are wingmanning and there's less, like there's no pressure to you really don't have to be very couth because there's not a lot of risk because you're talking on behalf of somebody else, right? So that's what I thought was happening at first. Because this woman just came up to me and says, "Are you looking for a girlfriend?" So I was like, oh, it's going to be for this person that she's with. But then I looked at the girl and I'm like, no, that girl is insanely young. That's like a a child. It's not going to be her. And so now I'm like, is it this woman? Because she's like speaking as if it's for somebody else. So I was like, no, I don't know. I was just like annoyed, And she goes, what about a lawyer who makes bank? And now I'm like, okay, you're talking about yourself. And I was like, what? And then she goes, how much money do you make? Like, I'm like, I don't know. Not a lot. You saw where I just came out of. You know what I mean? I'm not like crushing it. And then she goes, how old do you think I look? Like, just the questions just keep getting worse. And so I gave her, I was like, I'm not going to guess. I'll give you a range, like a decade. I was like, I'm going to say 30s. Did I believe that when I said it? I don't know. If I did, it was on the later side. And I forget, she said some other stuff, but eventually it revealed that, the woman is her that she's talking about, and then the girl is actually her daughter, who's 16 years old. And so now I'm doing math, in my head, and and then she's like, well, where are you going? And I kind of felt like, because she was like, just being a little forward. She seemed maybe a little drunk, and she was like, you told, I thought you were funny and you're cute, and I liked your jokes about being short. And there was something about her, like, tall stature, and then her commenting on the fact that I was short. I kind of felt like I was being fetishized, for my shortness, which, I joke about on stage that being short is kind of like weirdly in right now. I don't know how much I buy it, but like she's kind of proving me wrong, I guess, by approaching me. I guess she's into the whole short thing or whatever. But she was like, where are you going after this? And I was like, oh, I have a show that I got to go to, which was a lie. But I wanted to poke this situational bear a little bit further, but I also wanted to give myself an out, And she's like, well, let's get a drink. And I was like, okay, fine. But I was like, let's just go back in the club because I can drink for free and it's kind of my safe space. So then we go down, and then she's like, there's more people that she knows. And then, I'm in like a huddle of like people that she knows. And there's like her daughter there. It was a bizarre scenario. And she's like, you look nervous. I'm like, I'm not nervous. Shut up. I was nervous because I was like confused by the situation. I'm like, I don't know what this is or what I'm doing. I'm kind of just furthering this conversation. And I don't know why. I have no interest in this, woman. I'm more interested in this situation and the fact that she just approached me, because that doesn't happen. So I was like, yeah, let's find out what your fucking deal is. So then we sit down and, got a beer. She got a beer. And then we're just like kind of talking, and she's kind of talking quickly. I can tell now that she's nervous because she probably thought I was going to say no, but I was like, no, all right, let's get a drink. Let's see what you got there, fucking, lawyer lady. And, she starts telling me about herself. Oh, yeah, I'm a lawyer for a chemical engineer thing and this and that, and how she got she lives in Buffalo. She got dragged to Buffalo for some guy who, like, said that they should move out there and start a life together, and then she did. She moved out. She popped out this kid, and then the guy turned out to be a psycho, and, like, so then they split up or whatever. And then the girl is just sitting at the other end of the bar. She's eating, like, a chocolate bar that costs, like, $100. And she's, just on her phone. And then she just keeps, like, she's, like, listening to the conversation, but not listening. She keeps, like, piping in and out, like when her dad got brought up. She's like, yeah, well, I don't talk to my dad anymore. He disowned me and he pulled a gun on me. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? So that's what happened, apparently. Yeah, and then the girl starts, and then the woman, the lady, she starts talking about how, like, I don't know, her grandmother lived through the Holocaust, and then her mom was, walking into the plane walking into the building on 9/11 when it hit, and then, it was a bizarre conversation. Interesting though, but I gave it 20 minutes of my time, and then I left, and So that was that. But it was yeah, it was interesting. I'll be honest, I don't know what it is, but like people in their late 30s, early 40s are the people that approach me the most after a show. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is that I'm giving off on stage that people my own age don't seem to have an interest, but like yeah, there's just something about this like late 30, early 40 kind of crazed look in the eye energy, and they approach you and they just like, I thought you were so fun, and then they kind of like put their hand on your shoulder and you're like, all right, easy there, tons of fun. How about you just take a beat, cuz this is not exactly what I was referring to on stage, but I'll take love where I can get it. Follow me on Instagram, you know what I mean? That's kind of what I was in the back of my head. I'm like, if I could get a few followers out of this, I'll stick around for a beer. But yeah, and then I left to go to my show, and she was like, she's like, should we go to the show? And I'm like, no, you're not coming. You're not coming to this fucking show. What are you kidding me? Yeah, so that was that, which was very, very interesting. But like I said, just coming down, fucking booze bagging it up. So what's happening? What's going on in the world? I don't know if you saw. I saw this. Did you see these fucking protests over in China right now? They're like kicking down gates and shit because of the COVID I didn't even know they were still doing lockdowns for the vid. I don't want to say the whole disease because, then I get like a fucking warning sticker on my podcast, and then YouTube just throws it to the back of the pile if you talk about it. But yeah, they're like protesting the CCP and like tearing shit down, and it's like, you know what? Good. I'm sick of everywhere. It's like, this is what true fucking, that's communism. That's what, I know so many of these fucking cucks in Brooklyn who are just like, actually communism works, it just hasn't been implemented. It's like, no, that's what it ends up at people, wanting to tear down the government. Now, granted, did people want to tear down this government every other fucking day, but for different reasons, you know what I mean? It's when people start creeping up on the fucking freedom, dude. The freedom. We love freedom. But that's what they were chanting over there. They were like, enough with the fucking lockdowns, bro. We want to live our goddamn life. Communism just sucks one. Speaking of communism, did you know, I learned this today, that Joseph Stalin has a living granddaughter that lives in America? Did you know that? I mean, I had to. It's this one. What's her name? Fucking Tracy. I don't even know how the fuck you say this, but so Russian. Tracy Evanson's. I don't know what the fuck it is, but she looks so like, all right, your grandfather, Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin, implemented communism, killed a bunch of fucking people. You would think that the descendants would kind of go in the other direction, but if this woman doesn't look exactly like the people who are just have the biggest heart on for communism, then I don't know what she looks like, because I mean, she literally looks like every person screaming online about communism and how it has to be. But she's like in a field, and she's holding like an AR and has like pistols in her waistband, which is weird. But then she's got like face paint, her hair's all bleached, and it's all fucked up. But it's like, hey man, you know what? You're Joseph Stalin's granddaughter. Why don't you keep a goddamn low profile? It's like if I was, Hitler's great grandson or some shit, Number one, I'd change my name, but I'd probably keep it fucking hush, you know? Isn't it a thing? I think I read this that, like, the last living descendants of Hitler have decided, they all made a pact that they were not going to have kids so that his bloodline ends, which I get the sentiment, I do, but that seems dumb to me. I don't know why. If you don't want to have kids, don't have kids, but don't not have a kid because you want to end the fucking bloodline. Like, the bloodline matters in terms of the severity of evil that your kid is going to be. I mean, this isn't fucking Game of Thrones, you dumbass. If Hitler's, Hitler's great grandchild is not good. I don't think there's some sort of devious fucking seed that swims throughout the blood each generation that makes you, want to extinct an entire race full of people. The fact that the people, that decided to do this are not insane, and that they're actually thinking, their heart is in the right place of, like, they want this, the legacy of this guy to just fucking die. But it's like, all right, what, you think people are going to stop talking about Hitler because you didn't have a kid? I mean, the narcissism behind that is like, don't worry, guys, we'll fucking take care of it. We'll end it. You know what I mean? Nobody's even thinking about the fact that he had kids. Nobody's thinking about who his descendants are. And you know what? Even if people find out that you are Hitler's great grandson or whatever, how long do they care? Because it's not like you knew the guy. Do you know what I mean? People only want to talk to somebody who knew the dude. But, you ever tell somebody, you ever, like, find out you're related to somebody famous and you tell somebody, and how little people give a fuck? I get Hitler's a different thing, but if I met somebody and they were like, yeah, he's my mom's sister's cousin's uncle, I'd be like, who gives a fuck? That means nothing to me. So what does that mean? Did it didn't trickle down and now you want to fucking kill Jews, right? So what is it? The fuck does it matter? I don't know, but this lady looks, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, because this lady looks like she could be the next Stalin. Stalina. Josefina Stalina. That could be her name. The fuck else was I looking at? Oh, I saw this. This fucking grossed me out. So somebody tasted the world's first cultivated steak, as in completely made in a lab, no cows required steak, which, listen, the aliens are sitting by and they're watching us, and they're slowly waiting for the right time to jump in and murder all of us. And we're getting there, cultivated steak made in a lab. Now, I might be the old person, who looks back on this and I'm like, I was wrong. I might be wrong. We might look back one day and say that, the fact that we ate animals and cut them up and put them in cages or whatever is, like, insanely inhumane. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think we got too much fucking history of eating shit to really turn that ship around. The only reason I think it would be a viable solution would be because of the population problem. I think we just hit 8 billion people, which, how are you counting? How do they count that? I don't know. Somebody smart out there probably knows something, but we just hit 8 billion people. I don't know if there's 8 billion cows. I don't know if you need a cow per person. I don't know how food works, The cows, I assume, keep making other cows. But I don't know. I haven't had the steak. I haven't had the plant, whatever. I don't even know if it's plant. It could be made out of fucking yoga mats. I don't know. But I haven't had the plant steak, but I'm going to guess. And also the article was written by some pro-plant fucking lunatic who's just like, it's just like a regular steak. It's absolutely... Listen, if it's the same as a regular steak, that's fucking more terrifying. That's what these people don't get, is that you're trying to replicate the taste and the feeling and the texture of a real steak. But a real steak has blood. So if you're giving me something that, bleeds the same way a regular steak does, that's fucking terrifying. That's what some of these things do. These plant-based, like the Beyond Burgers and the sausages, they bleed the juices. It's all just, I got in an argument with someone the other day because it's all just this terrible, vegetable and canola oil and seed oils and shit that are just pumped in there. It's like, that shit is fucking terrible for you. I had to convince somebody that seed oils were bad. They thought it was good. Like grapeseed oil and shit. They used to put that in cars. They used to use that in cars. And now they're, using it to fucking cook. I mean, it's insanity. Now, there's people on the other side of the argument who feel the exact same way about what I'm saying. They're like, I can't believe you think that red meat is healthy. But here's the thing, okay? I have history on my side. People have been eating red meat for as long as we've been alive. But the only thing is, what they haven't been eating forever is fucking burgers and hot dogs and bacon and all this shit. And so I think it just kind of gets lumped into the same pile, if you will, of food. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the old cow, you know what I mean? If you just the burger patty is not the issue. It's everything around the patty that is it's that fucking bun. It's that American cheese. It's the fucking 2 fistfuls of fries that you just had and the 37-ounce Coke. You dumb shits, not the red meat, you fucking morons. Go back to communist China and eat your fake food, you fucks. Boy, we're getting weird and quiet on this one, huh? Yeah. This Wednesday, Yarbar Comedy Show. Come on out, folks. It's going to be a grand old time, sorry. Yeah, it's on the 30th, and then anything coming up after that I want to let you motherfuckers know about. Show possibly this weekend in Jersey City. Look out for my Instagram for that if you want to come to that. Let me see. Yeah, I think that might be it for now. The only thing I have on the books for sure is I'm going to Nashville on the 12th for a few days. If anybody has any hookups for some stage time or whatnot, I'm going to be in the area. So come on out to that. I'm going to Nashville, and then I'm going to Chattanooga for some shows with my buddy Ted Barton, going down to the old Comedy Catch, and my buddy Jeff Greenspan, who is the mayor of Chattanooga, pretty much. Yeah, I'm gonna go down there, and I'll be out of commish, out of the state for most of the second half of December, because then I'm just gonna go home for the old holidays and take some much needed rest, which I will probably spend drinking. So what can you do? So yeah, that's what's going on with me, folks. Hope you have a good week. Hope you had a good week. It's the podcast. Like, share, subscribe, all that shit. Come to a show, like a video, share it, all the shit. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.